The UAE now ranks in first place globally in overall business skills proficiency. That's according to Coursera's latest global skills report. The report draws data from 100 million learners in more than 100 countries who have used Coursera to develop a new skill during the past year. And I'm joined by the Vice President for EMEA at Coursera, Mr. Anthony Tattersall. Thanks so much for being with us today. Now, the UAE ranks first globally in terms of business skills proficiency. The UAE has 642,000 Coursera learners. What areas are they excelling in, and what areas really need some improvement?
Yes, thank you for having me. The UAE has done very well in the area, as you say, of business skills, topping the league of 102 countries that we measure through the Global Skills Report. And within that, we see strong proficiency in areas such as leadership, management, strategy, operations, communication, HR, and entrepreneurship. Very specifically, some very strong skills around marketing, accounting, and sales, and some competitive skill sets also in the general financial area. Where the UAE is perhaps lagging behind relative to other countries is primarily around the areas of technical proficiency and data science. The UAE ranks 69th globally in that list of 102 countries for technical proficiency and 67th in data science. And that's really the area where I think we have the most opportunity to focus on developing the skill sets.
Interesting findings. Now, this super highly skilled workforce, with the exception of these two areas, I mean, we have here an abundance of people who can really effectively contribute to the UAE's economic development, but this also means that the UAE has a highly competitive workforce. How does this impact the average employee or the average job seeker?
I think there's a real sense of positivity around the hiring market. There's a study done by Cooper Fitch that said that we're looking at new job activity and employment trends in the region, that job creation has surged by about 18% in the third quarter of last year. And so growth is continuing to edge up. We also see a lot of optimism in the region through working professionals about their opportunity for job prospects in the labor market off the back of economic growth. And I think what we're seeing is that there's a good sense of talent inflow after, say, the US, the UK, and some of the other major marketplaces, which I think is representative of the level of skills that are available in the economy, which can then attract inward investment from other organizations looking to utilize the availability of talent in the region.
So keeping the lack of certain skills in mind, what should we be studying if we want a competitive advantage? I mean, what are the most in-demand skill areas driving employment in the digital economy?
Yeah, and so if you look at where we sort of see the future of work in terms of skill set, it is around those digital and technical skills, and also skills in general healthcare. Digital and technical skills are perhaps the most globally relevant because they can also be skill sets that you can utilize from anywhere in the world, potentially in a remote capacity, or of course by driving inward investment. And so looking at areas of opportunity, it's really the skill sets around a lot of the leading technical skills, looking at databases, operating systems, computer networking, web development, computer programming, cloud computing, software engineering, etc. And these are skill sets right now where, compared to perhaps other countries, the UAE has a lot more opportunity to really develop and exploit that kind of skill set.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.